All right. We are moving on to Nick in Virginia.
Also, if you're a believer, please give us a call. We'd love to talk to people who are not trolls.
We will prioritize your call because we like talking to theists when they are not trolls. Nick, welcome to the show.
Hi, Eric. Hi, V. First of all, before I get into my topic, I would like to note that the moment I turned on today's show, V, I recognized that you were Todd.
Yes.
I was like, oh, that's such a great costume. I love it so much.
Thank you, somebody. Appreciate it.
But anyway, so I'm calling in. I don't know if you remember me, but about a month and a half ago, I called in and said that I was starting a stream channel.
I do remember you.
Yay!
Yeah.
So I, just for anyone listening who didn't see the episode, I started a stream channel to like for video games and whatever, but alongside of that is skepticism, both in political beliefs and in religious beliefs. And so my channel is all about talking about what you believe and why, but for your political and religious views, and kind of unpacking that as a community and talking about that in a very open and inclusive way.
Cool. We always need more of those.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, nobody's turning off their TV going, oh my gosh, there's too much atheist content. It just means that the rest of us have to up our game when there's more competition in the space, which means that the viewers get to benefit from it. So cheers.
Yeah. What's your question for today?
And we don't even need to compete, really, because we don't put out 24/7 content. Sorry. Anyway, Nick, go ahead.
So after like doing this for about a month or so, I want to make sure that I'm maintaining my responsibility to be as knowledgeable as possible. I know that I'm not going to have all the answers. I know that I'm not going to know everything because that's frankly impossible and illogical.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
But I want to make sure that I'm being as educated as possible to my viewers who may have less access to information than me, or are using me as an access point for information. So, how do you all maintain your responsibility as skeptic educators? Like, do you like have a schedule where you try to read like 1 or 2 articles a week? Do you try to like address certain topics all the time? So on.
That's a really good question, Nick. So
we've had long conversations about this.
Yeah, there are so many different ways to approach being an educator, who I would consider to be also activist. So there are a bunch of different ways to approach it. I don't think there's like one right way to do it. For me, I combine kind of both of those components that you brought to the table. So I unfortunately don't have a set time set aside to do research, which sounds amazing and probably something that a more, disciplined version of myself would do. But I am constantly, I've cultivated my feeds. I've cultivated what I look for to really, be constantly getting new information. So that's one way to do that. The other component, though, is very important, and that's speaking to what you know and picking your battles wisely. And knowing that there are some conversations where you can absolutely weigh in and bring a lot to the table and be like, hey, I've actually researched this, or I have personal experience here. Here are my thoughts, and actually bring that wealth of knowledge to the other people in the room. There are other situations where maybe you aren't the best person to speak on it, either because it's not your experience or because other people should be platformed to speak on it better, or you just, haven't done that research and can't speak too much on the subject. So for us, a lot of the time we will move conversations into areas that we know about, not because we don't want to learn new things, but because we're very cautious of overstating things or giving the wrong information on a platform where we're, advocating for skepticism.
Yeah, we get smacked down every single time we do. If there's any advice that we can give, it's stay in your lane. If you're not an expert in a thing, like V said, find the people who are, but also embrace the fact that you don't know and say, I don't know. We don't have enough people who are confident and okay saying, hey, I don't know. Let's learn together. And in doing, it's only by doing that, that we can start to change the public view that saying I don't know is somehow the worst answer. I debated a guy actually once who said that if you get somebody else to say I don't know, you win. So I know where the universe came from. If you don't, then I automatically win.
Yeah.
And I know that may seem crazy, but there are people who do think that, so just saying I don't know can be really, really beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely. Does that answer your question?
I think, yeah, that's absolutely a huge good point. And I try to, notate where my limits are and make sure that my community understands that, but also put out there that, like, I'm willing to, like, stretch my limits. And if someone has an idea or belief or topic that they want to bring up that I may not know everything on, I preface it by saying I don't know everything on this topic, but I'm willing to, like, have a conversation about it or get educated about it, and then we can talk more about it next time I stream.
Absolutely. That's a really good approach.
Or give me, like, resources that you want to talk about or put them in my Discord, and we can share them mutually and go over it or talk about if it was a good resource or not and go on from there.
I love that. My only caveat there, Nick, and this is just, from personal experience, if you are planning on growing your channel and putting, gathering more time and more energy into it, just make sure everything you're doing now is scalable. Because if you can promise 2 people, I'm going to go look at this one article from each of you and read those and come back, that's great. If you suddenly get 50 people giving you articles to read, that's your whole week. So just keep in mind, it's okay to not know things, and it's okay to not go look for things, right? If somebody says, hey, here's an article that you don't know about that you should research, if it piques your interest, absolutely do that. But don't feel compelled to, right? There's nothing about skepticism that requires you constantly go down rabbit holes to learn more things. So just, as a caveat.
Yeah, that's definitely advice that I've had to give that really sucks, talking to people who are building a platform. They're like, I can't respond to everybody anymore and it's killing me. It's like, you gotta, make sure that you're fostering a community that can be built and not that community needs to rely on you to exist.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I like it.
That is a great question, Nick, and thank you for calling in with it.
Absolutely. And I know this is your platform, and that's fine. Do you mind if I plug my stream? If not, that's totally fine. Not
here, but if you go into our Discord, you can link to it, and everybody can jump in from there. And a lot of activity happens on that Discord. And
to be absolutely clear, dude, we want to see as many atheist communicators, skeptic communicators as possible. We think the field needs to grow and we want to help grow people. We're just figuring out how we can do that in a way that's not going to flood us with people who want to do the same, because that was a mistake that I made on the show that we were on before early on. And then after that, for the next few weeks, like every skeptic YouTuber, podcaster was calling in just like, show me. So we're just trying to figure that out, and it may change in the future, but we're just getting that footing on how we're going to be able to do that. So you guys check out our Discord so you can find out Nick's channel, and we encourage you guys to search for him and other atheist skeptic communicators. We wish you the best of luck.
Absolutely. Thanks, Nick.
Awesome. Thank y'all so much. Y'all are incredible.
Oh.
Cut him off mid-compliment.
I know. I'm sorry, Nick. That is a really tough kind of place to be. Is, we want to platform, and we also want to make sure that, we're not spending creating these weird disparities of exposure and power, and we're working it out.
Yeah, we just don't want to be playing favorites. So the general rule is no, but like if we really like what you're doing, or you've called in multiple times and we kind of get a sense for who you are, we'll plug you over to the Discord and you guys can talk there.